Hey guys, Metal Stash here, and today I am bringing you a video um, that is going to be a little shorter than what I normally do. It's going to be on garrisoning units, which means putting them inside of buildings where it acts like a bunker, and you can fortify them inside of buildings. And you can also ungarrison units outside of buildings, so buildings can push units out of the building that they're currently in. And also, the other thing I'm going to be showing you today is hidden actions, or actions that are happening behind the scene but aren't necessarily able to be directly activated by the player. They are somewhat controlled by the code of when they are activated and when they are not. Also, what I want to talk about is what my involvement in doing this is going to be. I know I haven't been posting videos for about like the past 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. It's been a while, so I'm not real happy about that. You know, I wanted to do more videos, but it's just like to find the drive for me to do more content and stuff like that. I couldn't find that drive. I've been doing other things. You can tell I've been playing LOL. That's been taking some time, but I really enjoy it. It's really fun to play. If you ever want to find me, my gamer tag is MetalStash. So if you want to friend me, cool. I love playing. I usually play about 1 or 2 games every day, but that is going to be difficult to do here lately. Because my schedule is so tough this semester. I'm on campus for classes literally every day from like 12 to 5 o'clock. Or not 12 to 5 o'clock, but 10 to 5 o'clock. So I'm on campus for about 7 hours each day. And that's going to eat up a lot of my time. Just because, I mean, it's school. That's my priorities right now. So I'm going to be trying to get other videos out. I'll probably try to work on them over the weekends and maybe get them out like every couple of weeks, but don't look to try and see like, a couple each week. It's not going to happen. I just can't do that. And it's also hard because trying to come up with the content to show you guys, because I don't want to show you something that's stupid or something that I'm not prepared to show. So enough about that. If you guys want to know more about that or whatever, you can ask me. I have a scrolling background, so that's why that changed. So let's go ahead and get into the project. What I've changed here is not a whole lot. I've changed some of the models here. I know you guys have made notice about the buildings not working for some reason. I'm not sure what that issue was, where they weren't at the right height. It may have been the unit height value needed to be 4 or 2. I can't remember. I didn't find an issue with it, so I'm not sure what that whole problem was. But the other thing, or new thing that I added, is a bunker model. This is just something that I threw together real quick to hold the place of the bunker. It has no animations. It really doesn't need any animations for right now. I can add some later. Has the simple texture on there, and I can put units inside of it that I spawn out of a building. So let me show you that. And okay, so if I create a worker here, it deducts the mineral or the resource values, and right now I have made it where they're hidden actions. This unit can garrison inside of garrisonable buildings. So right now this bunker is garrisonable. It can store other units. So if I right click on it, the unit goes to the building and goes inside of it and is hidden. Its mesh render is hidden, its collider is hidden, it's unselected, and it makes it basically impossible to control that unit at all or collide with other units. Now if I set a waypoint for this bunker and then say ungarrison all, it will move this unit closest to the closest spawn point and then tell it to move towards the first waypoint of the bunker. If that waypoint is not set, then it's default to the bottom left corner. So how did I get these hidden actions to work? If we go to the worker prefab and head into the unit script, there's a new array that I added called hidden actions. These are actions that are not drawn for the player to use. They are hidden. They're still added as a component, so you can still access them if you know that they're there. So I have it now where if you right click on another unit or something that's selectable for the player and you have units selected, you can now command them without having to click the action and tell them the target to do whatever action to. And speaking of actions, I've actually thought of changing the attack, what I've defined as an attack behavior, to just a script, because or just an action script, because I've thought about it again. I know I've changed this multiple times because I just can't get it to work right, or it just doesn't feel right to me. And I figured if you have the attack as an action, when an action is casted, it can do the damage then, and it can keep moving to the cast position, which is the target position. So I think I can get it to work as an action, but that is not what this video is about, and I'm going to be working on that later. So let's move past that. So we have a worker here with hidden actions, and the way I access that is if we go into the code here, we have our Garrison action here that is just like any other action. Its casting range is 1, just for a little bit of a buffer, because it is a box that it's trying to get at, and sometimes that can cause a little bit of issues with distance measuring. I've also fixed the distance measuring where it accounts for the caster's width and the target's width. So the range that you're telling it is now the distance between the ends of them, so it works much better for when they collide. Telling every unit, requesting a target, and telling what target layer. You have the usual functions here. Not usual, I override move to cast position in this case because I need to be able to tell if the unit is garrisonable. It needs to know that. If it's not a garrisonable unit, it doesn't need to waste its time going over there and then just sitting there going, okay, I can't do anything with this unit. So if it's not, it just does a log of unit is not garrisonable. If it's reached the unit, that means it needs to cast, and from there it's going to first just store the unit. That's the target, and it's going to check if it's max garrisoned units allowed, which is just the maximum amount. I set it to 4 on the default bunker. If that is greater than the garrisoned units length array, so if the length of the array that is containing the units is less than the maximum garrisoned units, then it still can add a new unit to it. So it's going to set the it's going to tell ungarrison that the cast target that it needs to access is equal to the same cast target that this action is using. That was just a little thing I found where when I tried to ungarrison units, it wouldn't work because, well, it's trying to access the target that it doesn't have. So I store the units and the new units array so that I can just add the new unit to it. And I go into here, and it's just a simple building algorithm where it adds the old units into the new units, but when it's the very last one, it adds the unit that is currently wanting to be added to the end of the array, and setting its render to enable to false. It's finding the map bounds renders enabled state to false. That is the minimap display where you can hide the unit, but the minimap can still see it. Setting its collider state to false, and setting selected to false. That case the you don't see the plane moving, but there's no unit, because I had that. And then just setting the new garrison units equal to the new units. It's a very simple action. The ungarrison basically does the very opposite. It removes itself from the array, and then it also I do some really cool things with using the building again to find the closest spawn point, because the bunker has a building script with it. You can find the closest spawn point to it. So that's really cool, because I could also make units that are moving, and you can find the closest spawn point from that. So like medevacs in StarCraft, you can, how they spawn units out of them because they have them garrisoned inside of them. It's the same type of thing. You just reverse all the values that you have done, except for selected, because you don't need to select the unit, and telling it to move towards the point as long as there is a waypoint to move at, else it's going to spawn them at the bottom left, like I said before. Now the way you ungarrison, because it's as a hidden action, it's not called by the player, it's called really by this action, ungarrison all. This is the action that is shown to the player when the bunker is selected. Its cast range is 0. It doesn't need to cast at any distance. I actually probably don't even set that because it, I think, is already 0. If it's clicked, it just needs to cast. It doesn't need to do anything real special. So when it's cast, it gets every garrison unit that is on it, and it tells it to ungarrison. So it does all of these for every single unit, and it works like a charm. It's really cool. Now, how I've gotten it to make it so when I right click on certain units, it does certain things. This is controlled specifically by the decide and act function and the decide function. The decide and act functions are called when a unit is commanded, and it gets a string from the decide function, so that the decisions that this function makes determine what it needs to act upon. So if, say for instance, it's a resource, it needs to harvest it, or it needs to tell that you can harvest this. I'll have later where you can defend. You can, like, well, I guess patrol is more direct actions, but right now, if a unit is garrisonable and its garrison component is also there, that means it can be garrisoned, then this unit should try to garrison itself if it's clicked onto a bunker, which it probably is. I have attack now automated and move, so that's really cool. I'll probably be changing attack later, but that's kind of about it that I have for you guys for this video. I'm really grateful for everyone who watches these videos. I didn't think that I knew I would probably reach 100 subs. Sometimes I'm really glad I did. I'm about to 115, I think, now. But thank you to everyone who watches, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, please like it, whatever, I don't care. And I will catch you guys later. Bye.